When it comes to living life, there's a lot to overthink, but I don't ever have to overthink my water. I've been drinking Smart Water for years and truly love its pure, crisp taste. It's vapor distilled through a process inspired by clouds. I love chic branding, and Smart Water's sleek bottle shape makes it the perfect accessory for any day bag, workout tote, or backpack. Smart Water is the smart way to hydrate no matter what you have going on in your life. Life is full of choices. Smart Water is a simple one. Visit drinksmartwater.com to learn more.
Hear that? Yeah, that's the sound of you relaxing, because now you're managing diabetes with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. You get to know your glucose levels and where it's headed. Manage your diabetes with more confidence with the Freestyle Libre 3 system. Ready to learn more about the #1 prescribed CGM in the U.S.? Visit freestylelibre.us to learn more. Based on retail sales data for patients' last filled prescription by manufacturer. Refer to the FLAIR NL4 study published in BMJ Open Diabetes Research and Care 2019. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Zoe.
And I'm Rodger Berman.
And you're listening to
Works for Us,
where we talk to people about what works for them in their relationships and, of course, what doesn't. Okay, so on this show, our focus is always about relationships and love, but it's me we're dealing with here. So sometimes a little bit of fashion sneaks in. And today I'm here to tell you that we have one of the most fashionable couples ever in our presence, Marc Jacobs and his absolutely gorgeous, smart, talented, brilliant, sweetest husband, Char Defrancesco. Marc Jacobs himself, he's well known and hugely respected for his fashion label, Marc Jacobs. He also has held positions as the creative director of Louis Vuitton, the creative director of Diet Coke, which I'm not sure I even knew, and the recipient of several, and like when I say several, I feel like it's like 100 esteemed awards, including MTV's first Fashion Trailblazer Award, Women's Designer of the Year. I'm going to say he's won these like 20 times at the CFDA Fashion Awards. Marc's husband, Char Defrancesco, is a former model. Look at him. Well, you can't look at him, but I am. It's very obvious. And owner of the luxury candle company Get Lit by Char, which I'm confused why I don't have any of these, which offers seductive scents like Hype, Rich, Lit, and Bay. Okay, so we're so excited to hear about this amazing romance, which I've been fortunate to see some parts of. So welcome to Works for Us, both of you. We're so excited to have you here. And I should say, too, very often on our podcast, Rodger and I have the good fortune of knowing our guests for a really long time and having history. But today, I think the one thing we'll always say about it that's so cool is that as well or as long as we know somebody, we always learn something new on the podcast when we talk to them. We get, and I can promise you that with Marc, you find out something new every time you talk to him, 100%. So, all right, you guys, we like to start kind of at the beginning, which I think the most important thing here is how on earth did you meet? Because I think, just to go from the very basics, like how did it happen? Because it's kind of funny, I think.
Yeah. You want to tell?
Sure. Well, I was living in New York, but I just moved back to LA. And so I was coming back to New York to visit some friends. And somebody was like, I'm at a party at Marc Jacobs' house. Do you want to come? I was like, sure. So I came. And then we kind of clicked, Marc and I, and we started talking about, I think like the lamp in the bathroom. And then we just kind of started laughing about, we shared the same
Amanda Lepore.
Yeah, Amanda Lepore song. And we had all these like same cultural references that we knew and loved, like
obscure
YouTube videos.
Obscure references.
Okay.
So
very much so.
Yeah, like kitschy little weird YouTube videos that nobody would know unless you knew. And then I'd be like, oh my God. Like I'd say something and he'd be like, he'd continue the song. And I'd be like, no, you can't know that. Like,
that's awesome.
Like, nobody knows that.
And then,
and then you left.
Well, then everyone like, then I left. And then I was like the last one there and we just kind of talked and stuff all night. And then I left. And then we just stayed in contact and just texted and, wrote messages like all the time. And then
I invited you to St.
he
Bart.
invited me to St. Bart's during the holiday. And I was
I just want to say that's my place with Mark.
But wait a second. But this was so like typical, like, because I just want to like paint that picture a little bit more thoroughly. So like it was like I don't know, 5 days before Christmas,
right.
And Charlie was like writing to me. I was writing to him to say like Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and he was like, oh my God, I was just about to write to you to do the same thing. And I was like, well, we're in St. Bart. And he was, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, I'm just in LA. And I was like, why don't you come? And he was like, okay. He's like, you don't have to ask me twice. I'm going to get on the plane tomorrow. So he literally just got on a plane.
Aww.
He arrived.
Amazing.
He arrived with a suitcase with no clothes folded, which to me was like, what? How do you not fold clothes? And tin foil. I was like, what the fuck is all this tin foil? But he had been up all night baking these delicious pumpkin chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah.
And so they were all wrapped in tin foil. So he had a suitcase filled with like dirty t-shirts, dirty sweatpants that were not folded, where they weren't dirty, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
They're
Dirty
not
now
folded,
because
to
they're
me,
not
dirty.
folded. I was going to say they're dirty now, 100%.
Okay, hold on. Let me just add in that I was supposed to go to Switzerland to go visit my family. I go to Switzerland every Christmas and New Year's. And so I'd cancel that. And so I had to like repack all my stuff from, winter clothes to like summer clothes. And I had to bring something like my mom would just kill me knowing that I went somewhere without bringing like a gift. And I'm like, what am I going to buy Marc Jacobs? Nothing. I'm like, well, I can bake. I'll bake some cookies.
I struggled. By the way, Char, I struggled
so
with that for so long. Every year on his
So
birthday.
he's the
I'm
worst,
like,
isn't he?
But what the hell do I buy him?
He's the worst.
I also want to add for anybody who's interested, our relationship at that point was really platonic. I mean, we were friends, and I had a huge crush on him, and I couldn't believe that I'd met this person, but our relationship was platonic. There was no nothing going on, and we had 2 extra rooms in St. Bart. So it's like you have your own bedroom. I'm not trying to
Yes.
get into your pants kind of thing or anything like that. And then as we hung out in St. Bart leading up to New Year's Eve, which was really, really special, we started getting closer and not intimate, but like just closer. And so we said like, okay, well, if we're going to kiss, we're going to have our first kiss on New Year's Eve.
Oh my God.
And we ended up having that first kiss on New Year's Eve to Prince performing live. Kiss.
It was like his last performance.
Stop.
Janelle Monáe was his backup singer. It was at the Dasha and
Remember that little beach club, the Brazilian one?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Do
Brazil.
For like 100 people. And so that's why we had Kiss playing at the wedding too.
But it was at the engagement. You had that flash mob.
Oh yeah, the engagement.
Prince, yeah.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're probably cutting ahead, but that was kind of how we met. And then like how we became boyfriends.
I love that. And can I just go back to the cookie thing? Because
I agree. That's amazing.
Here's the thing. Like, okay, so Char, I feel you because as Mark's friend, trying to buy things for him was just, it was like, it was literally like it's diamonds or a met. Like, what the hell do you buy him? Art? No, can't do that. Right. So so I feel like in that situation, it's like, okay, what means love to you? And it's like baking. And the fact that you did that and actually packed them, made them, and brought them with you. It's like, that is the sweetest thing.
And the fact you got them through customs is just incredible.
By the way, that was my next question. Did they not take them? It's amazing.
No.
That's incredible.
Remember, it was a different world.
It's true.
Yeah.
They would take those now.
You could, like, you remember, like, with St. Bart, I mean,
it
was ridiculous.
A lot of people brought a lot of things into St. Bart.
You could pretty much
that were not just cookies. If you remember all those New Year's Eve parties with Dasha and Larry, there were a lot of people up all night, not on cookies.
You mean it wasn't the sugar?
What's Rodger doing?
I'm just trying to wipe the screen.
Oh, my kids steal my computer and they get like pancakes.
I keep getting like a prism and it's just freaking me out, but I didn't get
that. Could have been Halloween residuals from last night.
Definitely.
Okay, you guys, wait, this is such a good story. Okay, so you actually were friends. You start in St. Bart's, you fall in love, you have your first kiss on New Year's. So far this is actual storybook stuff. For real. Okay, so then when did you get engaged? Like, how long were you together? I feel like it was relatively quick, right?
No.
It just
we were
felt
together
quick.
It felt like a lifetime.
We were together for a while.
Yeah, we were together for maybe like 4 years, and then we were engaged for a year.
Perfect.
And then we've been married almost 2.
Wow.
Almost 2? No,
7
3.
years.
Yeah.
No.
No, almost 2. Yeah. This
We don't count the
year.
COVID year.
We don't count the COVID year.
Oh my God.
Such a bummer that
We
year.
especially count the COVID year. That was
No,
the
wait a
hardest
second.
year for any couple.
I'm really bad with this. Like how long?
In April, it'll be 2 years.
April, but
Yeah,
we're
but it's
nowhere
already-
near April.
We're November.
Yeah, but that's not almost 2 years.
It'll be here before you know it.
April's?
We're a year and a half.
Wow. Okay. So I missed it. I missed a full year. I actually thought it was 3. Okay, cool. By the way, I just might add that was one of the most beautiful, glamorous weddings I've ever been to in my life. I know
sure.
Roger's
Same.
yelling at me because I went ahead because I'm supposed to ask you probably.
Rachel, we're not there yet.
I know. I'm sorry. I got excited.
So I want to hear about the engagement. Like who asked who? How did it go down? What was the situation like? And what precipitated it? Like 4 years.
What?
Like why get married?
Right.
Why not?
What-
I'm
I
just
think it
wondering
was
because
just-
a lot of people that I know, especially, are just
What?
together.
Why get married?
Yeah.
Well, like what precipitated? Like you together 4 years. Like why get engaged then? And
Well, so
how did it happen
was-
and why?
We talked about it, right?
We had talked about it before and stuff. And I know you guys are big in therapy, and as we are too. We started therapy like really early in a relationship before anything was wrong. It's important. And we had, I had expressed like, that I wanted to get married and how much it meant to me and stuff like that. And then we just kind of started talking about it because before he didn't want to get married.
Well, no, I really didn't understand. Like, I didn't have a genuine understanding of what being married meant to me.
Right.
So I did a lot of work like with my shrink.
Right.
And actually in being with Charlie and in writing my vows to Charlie, I understood like what it meant, what that commitment meant.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, it was like, oh, we're together, whatever, like we're not going anywhere. I'm with you, you're with me.
Sure.
But then I understood that part of what a commitment meant was understanding the other person's needs, and not only what my definition of marriage was, but being appreciative of what his definition of marriage was, and a truly selfless understanding in a relationship is to kind of really understand the other person's needs, wants, and desires, right? So I kind of had a very different angle on it, which was like, this isn't about me, my beliefs, and what I want. This is about us as a couple and what the other person in my couple also, wants, needs, and
Beautifully put.
Amazing.
right?
No, I mean,
Gorgeous,
I
gorgeous.
actually have chills, Mark, because
gorgeous.
I think one of the things,
Oh, I'm so glad I got that one right.
You
Wow.
did. Well,
Wow.
but here's the thing. There's no right and wrong, and it's certainly not on our podcast, because I think the whole point of what we talk about here is sort of what works for each couple, right?
Works for us, right.
And what works for you. And I think, we started it because we've been together 30 years and everyone's like, how on earth? And we're like, I don't know, it works for us. And so what we always like to try and dig into is like, what does make it work for you, and sort of why, and what's the magic, what's the secret sauce? And I think, Mark, one of the things I think Rodger and I have always loved and respected about you is you are the most honest. You are the most honest person I've ever known in terms of like, honestly, you taught me. People have asked me in my life, like how I got through hard times in my career and when people were like talking shit and like all this stuff. And I was like, honestly, Mark would just kind of straighten me out and be like, this is what it is. This is it. You have to be fearless about this. You can't dictate like who you are by what people think. Stop lying to yourself in your head about things. And I think the thing about you is like, you just say it. And it's like whatever the outcome is of what you say, you just say it. And I think that's a real gift. And I think it's something that so many people, I know myself, admire so much about you. And I think that a lot of people learn by your candidness, if that makes sense, because I think you make yourself very human about how you approach things. And I think, I just want to say, I think that's a beautiful thing about you. But I do think that the reason I wanted to know what made you get married is because I do remember not getting the feeling that was something you really planned to do, so to speak, when we were kind of talking about it. But I think that in a relationship, right? And that's the thing. A lot of times I think that marriage is something that, you do when it's like, okay, I'm not the marriage type, I'm not the whatever, but then you meet that person. It's like,
well, yeah, definitely.
you know,
and I think you knew a couple of the people that I had situationships with.
Right. Situationships.
Can I please recycle
That
that?
is
Right,
the
like I
best.
mean, you know,
Please
there was the
note that.
situationship with this
We're
guy and the
stealing that.
situationship
It's gonna
with
be
that
on
guy.
a T-shirt tomorrow.
Right, and you know, being in a situationship, there's always that thing. He's only with you for this, and you're only with him for that.
Yep.
And even though there is probably a very different truth to that situation,
Of course.
you know that when that's the chatter, that's kind of
course
always going to be there in some way.
Yep.
And I think, you know, I mean, people always have that thing about me or maybe with another person. I mean, there's an age difference or there's like success or certain things that people always like sort of harp on. But when I feel in my, you know, myself, like, okay, I know what my insecurities are. I know who I am. I know where I'm honest. I know where I'm like, need to work on it. But I'm with somebody where it feels like, okay, this really doesn't matter what anybody outside of this relationship thinks. Like I'm in a place where I'm happy with the person I'm happy with.
Totally.
Then it's a different story. And that's when marriage became, you know, a real option.
And it's cool. You stick. It's like, we spoke to Brian and Jake recently, and I remember, I mean, they're not married, but I remember Jake making this point where he was sort of like, you know, he said something like, it's like you get mad at them, but you get through it. You don't leave. You don't walk away. There's a different strategy. It's like you deal with things differently. And I think marriage does tie that together. And I think it's not something you have to do, but when it feels right and it works, it's magical. Right.
Well, it's funny. Once you do get married, though, there is this like huge relief.
Yes.
Like
It's the best.
you know, it's just like this huge sense of like security. Like you can't just leave.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, my feeling, I remember very distinctly, was as soon as you get married, before you're married, I still think there's a slight competitiveness. Like even if it's at the subconscious level, because you know there's really nothing like you were saying. Yeah, we're together. Why do we? But when you actually make that commitment and you're married, all of a sudden, I remember very distinctly, all of a sudden we were one unit. It was like us against the world. Like
Our decisions were us. It wasn't
It's
I.
like flanks. Like you join flanks and it's just like, I don't know. That's how I felt, that we were really just one unit as opposed to close to being one unit. So I do think it pushes the envelope in a relationship personally.
Can I quote something that Mark said here at the wedding? God, this wedding.
Before we get to the wedding.
Oh, sorry. I can ahead. Sorry.
I feel like Char said that Mark, he intimated that maybe you asked him to get married. Is that what happened?
he proposed to me.
Can you set the table for us?
He's an Aries. Of course he.
Well, can you set the
Can
table?
we pull up the YouTube clip?
No.
Well, no one could see it anyway.
They
Right.
could YouTube themselves.
Well, you could describe it.
So
It was
let
your
me just
birthday.
precursor. Every year on my birthday, we go to Chipotle. It's that. So it's where we go on my birthday. We go to fancy dinners.
Can
all
I
the
just
time.
describe Mark rolling his eyes? I just
Maybe you
like
could go to
give that
Chipotle
visual.
Eye
for
roll.
lunch.
He had never been to Chipotle. He'd
Insert
never
eye
heard of
roll.
it.
Insert eye roll.
And so, yeah, he'd never even heard of it. And so he's like, where do you want to go for your birthday? I'm like, Chipotle, because I'd been in New York for a while and I just missed something that's, you know, like home, and Chipotle is kind of like home. And yeah, so we just started going every year on my birthday. We have fancy dinners all the time, and it's just nice to not worry about anything fancy and just get all of our friends together and go to Chipotle.
I just want to clarify that I ask Char every year on his birthday, what would you like to do? And the answer is Chipotle. It's not like this. I still try to move.
So
Anyway.
this one
That's the
particular year,
cutest.
he's like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, Chipotle. He's like, are you sure you don't want to go somewhere else? I'm like, we go to Chipotle every year on my birthday. I want Chipotle. He's like, why don't we go to the grill, or why don't we go here or Lobster Club? I'm like, no, I want Chipotle. Let's go to Chipotle. We go every year. It's tradition. So he's like, fine. So we go to Chipotle, and all of a sudden we pull up and Mark jumps out of the car. Now, if you know Mark, you know it takes him at least 5 minutes to get out of the car when we get anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. It takes him 5 minutes to get out of the car.
He has to like just gather his stuff in the bag and
exactly.
the this and
And
the
just like
that.
finish texting whoever.
Totally.
Get his stuff together.
Whole thing.
100.
And I've never seen him get out of the car so fast in my life. And I'm like, that was weird. Like, what is, like, he's in a rush to go to Chipotle. Like, that was so weird. And so we go into Chipotle, we order and we sit down. And then all of a sudden I see our chef outside, who's also a dancer. I see her outside. I'm like, oh my God, it's Lauren. Hey. And so I call her in and she comes in and she has this boombox with her, which isn't a normal because she's a dancer also. And, you know, she might have just been coming from class or whatnot. So she comes in and she just plays on the boombox and it's Prince and she starts dancing. And then all of a sudden, all the people get up from their tables and start dancing.
And then behind the counter,
the workers come out and
out
start
of the
dancing.
bathrooms. And then people come in from the street.
And then all of a sudden, it's just a full-on flash mob at Chipotle.
That is the craziest thing ever.
And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, oh my God. And I'm just thinking, he got me a flash mob for my birthday, like, which is awesome, you know? Like,
he got me a flash mob for my birthday.
I'm like, awesome. I can't believe it. Like, I was just so happy. And so, like, after I just like, I go to hug Lauren and then I turn to him and he's on his knee and it like clicked and there's all these, and all of a sudden I just saw these cameras around us outside and inside. I'm like, holy shit. Like, it just like clicked what was happening. And then, he proposed.
Oh, I literally have chills.
Ever.
And then we both started crying, and then
By the way, as only Mark would do. As only Mark would do.
Did I give you a ring that night?
Yeah, you gave me a ring.
Which ring?
You gave me that one, the Cartier, the
Panther, the one on your finger right now.
Panther. No. This was just for fun.
Oh.
This I discovered this ring watching your show many years ago.
I was gonna say, Mark,
and I was obsessed with Fender Cats. So I was like, I've always loved this ring, and it was you were the one.
No, that was not the engagement ring.
But no, it was
Which
like a diamond Cartier ring.
Diamond Cartier ring.
Yeah, babe. It was the
Where is it?
I think it's like, why are we talking about it as a past tense? This doesn't.
Well, I still have it. I just don't.
Because he's wearing his wedding ring.
I have
multiple rings.
Fingers, my fingers don't fit on any. Like my rings only fit on the finger that they
right.
They're not interchangeable, and so that ring only fits on my ring finger on my left side. So it's either wear that one or wear this one.
So you were proposed to in a Prince flash mob.
Yeah,
yes.
That's this in a Chipotle.
In a Chipotle.
This is literally the sickest thing ever.
It's pretty good.
God, babe,
you
got to get more creative.
I mean. Yeah.
When you re-proposed to me. I can honestly say there's definitely no one-size-fits-all solution when it comes to hair care. A product that works wonders for curls might make straight hair look limp and greasy. Speaking for myself, I need a shampoo and conditioner that gives me a lot of volume without weighing down my hair. Thanks to my personalized Prose routine, I can honestly say I've never been more in love with my hair. Prose makes custom hair care that's actually effective because it's personal. Using natural ingredients with proven results, Prose customizes every product in your routine from shampoo to supplements. First, Prose starts by asking about you as a person with their in-depth consultation. Prose asked me really unexpected things like what a single strand of hair felt like. I mean, I've never thought about that. Their quiz honestly was so thorough that I got a better idea of my hair and its issues right away. Next, Prose analyzed all my answers and determined what unique blend of ingredients should be in every product of my custom routine. Together, Prose got all my hair goals covered. The Prose Custom Pre-Shampoo Mask has been a life changer for me. It nourishes my hair and allows me to keep my hair very long and very healthy. So, I'm someone who's totally obsessed with long hair, as you may or may not know. I kind of use it as my security blanket. I like to hide my face when I'm in a bad mood. But the health of my hair is really, really important to me. So Prose has been really like hair changing and life-saving for me. As a carbon neutral certified B Corp, Prose is an industry leader in clean and responsible beauty. All their ingredients are sustainably sourced, ethically gathered, and cruelty-free. They're also the first custom beauty brand to go carbon neutral. If you're not 100% positive Prose is the best hair care you've had, they will take the products back, no questions asked. Yes, for real. Prose is the healthy hair regimen with your name all over it. Take your free in-depth hair consultation and get 15% off your first order today. Go to prose.com/Zoe. That's prose.com/Zoe raycon.com/Zoe for your free in-depth hair consultation and 15% off. With the holidays quickly approaching, I'm sure that you're all starting to think about gift ideas. And one gift that will make anyone in your life happy is a new pair of Raycon wireless earbuds. I am obsessed with my Raycons because even though I love working from home, sometimes I need to find a way to quickly focus on work. And that isn't always easy at home, as many of you know. Popping in my Raycons allows me to listen to all of my favorite music and get simultaneously inspired and very focused. Plus, they have seamless Bluetooth pairing and a comfortable noise isolating fit. The audio quality is incredible and very comparable to what you get from other premium brands, but Raycons start at half the price. And these earbuds are truly next level. The new everyday earbuds come with 3 new sound profiles to make sure everything you're listening to sounds its best with just the right amount of bass. For listening to this podcast, I'd suggest using pure or balanced mode and switching to bass mode when you're listening to your favorite workout music. Raycon offers 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. There's also a built-in mic, and you can take calls on your earbuds at the press of a button. So this holiday season, get them something they can use for calls or music, for work or play, at home or on the go. Or pick up a pair to treat yourself. Trust me, you are going to use them every day, and you will be completely obsessed with them. Go to buyraycon.com/Zoe today to unlock exclusive deals up to 20% off your Raycon order. But hurry, this offer is available for a limited time only, and you don't want to miss it. That's buyraycon.com/Zoe to unlock up to 20% off your Raycons. Buyraycon.com/Zoe.
You know what? Like, you know how many nights we have gone down some YouTube rabbit hole of like watching flash mobs or watching like stupid pet tricks or whatever. So Char, between documentaries and, you know, information you should know, and then like stupid pet tricks or whatever. So I have had years of sitting on a sofa with him watching like people cry after their proposals. You know, so I kind of got like this sense that it was the type of thing he would really enjoy.
And he did.
It always got a reaction from him.
I mean, that's also a fun fact about Marc too, I think, is that people, because Marc's very fancy, obviously. He likes really great things, but I also...
No, he's like, so he's the ultimate high-low.
100%. But the funniest thing about Marc is he also will like,
fancy.
he loves pop culture. And he will totally like obsess over, like I remember when you figured out Instagram and it was like, okay, wait, hey, okay, fine. Now I'm done and I'm obsessed with it. Like, you know, but yes, high-low, I totally agree with you on that.
But
100%. The grill and McDonald's. Like,
but Char also has like this real specific charm. And if you've ever traveled with him,
he's so cute.
You know, like he'll really go like out of his way to order something like a huge pair of sunglasses, and then he'll show up at the train station wearing like a stupid hat with like one of those oversized pair of sunglasses, and everybody loses their shit.
Like a floor-length fur coat,
or like, you know, or he'll show up in a bathrobe, like the hotel bathrobe over pajamas with like a stocking hat, and like, you know, like, and you're just like, seriously. So like, you know, as pissed as you are that your flight is delayed and the train is not leaving and the
he'll like make you laugh.
You kind of, you're just rolling around laughing, you know, because so he lightens everything up. So I've got so much of that from him,
That's
like
great.
how to,
Which
you know,
you
how
need,
to make,
Marc.
how to make a nightmare situation into
Totally.
a really fun occasion on $5.
And also, like, I also feel like, I don't know. I just feel like, Char, I feel like you're like this light. I don't know. There's something about you, even just like you're like this ray of happiness. I don't know.
thank you. Yeah, I try to be.
I remember. Do you remember when we met, Char?
I had to introduce myself to you because for years now I've been going to St. Bart's, hearing all these stories like, oh, remember when we were here with Rachel and Rachel this, Rachel that. And so I obviously knew who you were from before. And then I knew that I just heard all these stories about you. I'm like, I feel like I know her. And then we were leaving some party at Coachella, and I saw her. I was like, I don't know. And you look busy, and somebody would come up to you or something, and it was you. I don't know. You didn't dismiss them, but it was just like not the right time to talk to you.
Because Coachella is not where I shine. I need to go in and I need to go out.
Rachel's
it's just
down.
a lot. It's a lot.
She's heads down.
But I felt just so compelled to go up and introduce myself.
If you didn't, I would have killed you. I would have killed you.
And it was so funny because I went up and I was like, "Hi, Rachel. Like, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just feel like I need to introduce myself to you." And you're just like I was surprised you amused me as long you amused the conversation, you entertained the conversation.
You were so cute.
But I was like, I'm Marc's fiance, and then you just like your eyes just lit up. You're like, oh my! And you just like gave me the biggest hug, and it was just so awesome.
Was like,
you're so sweet.
I was dead. You were like, what did they say? You were like an oasis in the desert. You were like
literally.
I was like, get me out of this insanity. And then you're like, I'm Marc's fiance. I was like, oh my God. I was so excited. And I was so upset that I was leaving. I wanted to like grab you and take you with me into the car.
You're so sweet.
Well, I do want you guys to move her, but I just one little side note. I feel like, Char, you're like a mama's boy, are you?
Kind of, yeah, definitely.
You are?
I mean, I talk to my mom all the time, like every day.
I just feel like you were like, I can't go see him without bringing something. Like, I hope my boys go on
manners.
With that.
Well,
like,
I think it's a Swiss thing, maybe. You have some Swiss.
Or it's just a boy with mom thing.
It's funny. All my dad's side of the family is all in Switzerland, and they're all very stoic and except my grandma's very warm, and she taught me a lot of, my etiquette and a lot of things like that. But my mom, who's not my biological mom, she's the mom who raised me. She's from the South, and she was very like, you never show up anywhere without something like,
yeah. She sends us funny Christmas gifts, and every time she comes, she brings something like, silly and fun.
And she just cooks all the time for us. And I mean, she's very mom-like, and I've definitely got those things from her.
Oh,
so are you guys still like kind of in the honeymoon phase? I feel like, considering it's only 2 years. We just decided 1.5 years.
Not quite 2 years, apparently.
I don't know if we ever were in a honeymoon phase. I think we're just like very close, and just like we're always very grateful to have each other in our lives. And I always, we both practice gratitude like on a daily basis.
Good.
And I think we're
on the pandemic life. Hard, easier, closer, challenging. Were you like?
Well, it was really easy for us.
Luckily, the first 4 months I was stuck in LA.
I was at the Mercer.
And he was at a Mercer.
Marc's happy place.
So, again, just a little prelude. We had just sold our townhouse. So we had planned to move into the Mercer until we found a new apartment, which we could buy and redo and live in. Right. So we were already planning to move into the Mercer. That was before we knew COVID would happen.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So
same room,
so
Marc.
then
Same room.
Charlie had planned a trip to LA. I was moving into the Mercer, and then it got so serious with the lockdown that I said to him, like, don't come back because we can't stay in the same room and it's really unsafe for you to fly and all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. So we just made a decision that as long as we were in lockdown, I would have my suite at the Mercer. You know the one.
I was going to say, same room.
Second floor.
Best, literally the best times of my New York life.
Second floor.
For sure.
Right. So I had that. I had the entire floor because there was only 3 tenants at the Mercer during the whole lockdown. I was one of them. Tony Shafrazzi was the other.
God.
But Charlie has an apartment in LA. So he was staying in his apartment in LA.
Got it.
I was at the Mercer, and we just made the, agreement like, when it's safe and you can fly back and we can be together, fine. But not until then.
And I think we always joke, but if we were stuck in that, and he was so paranoid when COVID first happened. I mean, I was scared, but in LA, I was still able to go on hikes and like still kind of like get outside and do things.
Yep.
Whereas Soho was a war zone.
Oh, yeah.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so he didn't even leave the hotel room once, and I probably couldn't have either. And I think
I didn't leave the room
killed each other
for 4 months. I mean, I didn't even go down to the lobby.
Oh my God. Is that true, Marc?
At least you have that terrace.
Yeah. So I had the terrace, but I also had the adjoining room with the 2
Which
dogs.
is the other terrace.
The one I used to stay in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I had both of those rooms, and I was just basically spending all day doing a look, photographing it in the mirror, and then posting it on Instagram.
There were some really good looks, by the way.
I only, so that was funny. I had like 2 closets full of clothes for the whole time. And everyone was like, where are you getting all these clothes from at the Mercer? And I was like, See, that's how I pack. I mean, I take 8 Prada beaded coats when I go to the Mercer for 4 weeks,
But we'd also pack to live in the Mercer for like a couple months. So we had like a couple months worth of clothes.
Still, yeah, we had a couple of months of clothes, but all of mine happened to be hand embroidered Prada,
Yeah.
And the heels.
So
while
everybody is talking about like Zoom life and sweatpants, I'm like in like tailored beaded jackets or leather jackets.
I kept showing them to Roger during COVID. I was like,
what?
My love just goes deeper for him.
Like, where is he? I kept saying, I was like, where is he going? I don't understand.
And 8 pairs, like 8 colors of the same identical Rick Owens platform boots.
Oh, I know. I noticed.
Well, that's 2 suitcases worth of Rick Owens boots. So like, how like we roll, Rachel.
I do.
We're not like packers by any means.
I'm aware of it because I know how she rolls.
Yes. Well, I do think that we are going to have to make a trip for the 4 of us to do something amazing.
Yes, please.
It would be fun.
Can I ask something really personal? It's not on any paper or anything, but just from my head. Do you guys talk about kids or family? And there's no wrong or right answer.
Kids or family.
Who? What?
I wouldn't mind a couple well-behaved ones at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But we have dogs now.
I definitely do not want to have children.
Moving right along.
Next.
No. I mean, I'm not saying that that's forever, but in this moment, in this moment,
yeah.
I just honestly, I feel like me personally, between work and like this house that we're restoring and all this other stuff that's going on, I feel so drained. I would feel it was really selfish to have a child and not be able to give of yourself.
Yeah.
So like, I just don't have anything left in me right now for another person.
Yep.
So, I mean, we've always got one dog getting sick or wandering off. We've always got like some dilemma going on. And I just think, I mean, I know a lot of, people, especially now, a lot of couples who are having kids. And I just think, well, I don't know how they're doing it or how they're managing it. And it seems like they're being great parents. But until I really felt like I could be that, I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had an absent mom all my life. It was like, that's not nice for a kid.
Yeah.
To me.
No,
I don't.
But by the way, that's the thing that's an incredible answer, to be honest.
Great answer.
Because I think you're right.
I think you're right.
And you're right. And sometimes I see people that have kids and I'm like, why do they bother? Like, why?
It's not a handbag.
No.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Like, oh, our relationship.
Mark, I have those.
Then they have like one.
No, I know. But what I mean is,
Oh, for sure, it's not.
For me, and again, I'm not putting anyone down, and I'm not saying what's the right or wrong way to raise a child. I certainly don't know, but I feel like I'd want to be in a place where I'd be a very hands-on parent,
100%,
and not just someone who would, say, "Okay,
nanny,
Shelley, you take care of." Yeah,
totally.
Right.
I 100% agree, which is why we did it.
Shelley, but
do we even know Shelley?
I don't know.
Maybe that's why.
By the way, Mark, that's why we did it so late.
Yeah, we did it late.
We did it late because we knew we could be present. We waited 18 years.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, so almost there, you guys. So, okay, what's your absolute favorite place to go together? Although I think I know the answer. Although maybe it's your new house. What's your favorite place to go together?
Definitely not there yet, but it will be, I think, when it's finished. Now it just brings him stress.
It's the most stressful situation
Is this
in my life.
the Frank Lloyd Wright house? Is this your house?
Yeah, the 4-year renovation. We have another
year.
maybe year left.
So stressful.
I can't even.
That's why I have no interest. I just move in with my clothes.
Roger and I, we made a promise to each other after doing one of our very first house. We said never again. These days, small business owners are busier than ever, and spending time searching for the right candidates can feel like you're just taking time away from your growing business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs make it so much easier to find the people you want to talk to faster and for free. Create a free job post in minutes on LinkedIn Jobs to reach your network and beyond to the world's largest professional network of over 770 million people. Focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience and use screening questions to get your role in front of only the most qualified. Then use the simple tools on LinkedIn Jobs to quickly filter and prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to so much faster. Did you know every week nearly 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn? Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Zoe. That's linkedin.com/Zoe to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I like to stay aware of the latest trends, of course, and not only when it comes to fashion. And that's exactly why I have to tell you guys about the coolest mobile puzzle game ever, Best Fiends. Because crushing candy is so 2012. It's time for a puzzle game with something fresh to offer. I mean it when I say that Best Fiends is such a fun and relaxing way to take a little mental break during the day. With Best Fiends, you play through an actual storyline, complete with good guys, the fiends, and not so good guys, the slugs. Basically, it's an action-packed adventure and a brain-boosting puzzle game all rolled into one. There's new content added all the time, so you never get bored. I'm just getting started, but I'm already officially obsessed. And with literally thousands of levels and more added on the time, there's always a fresh challenge waiting when I need a mental pick-me-up. Download Best Fiends free today on the App Store or Google Play. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Also, we're both very good with the help of our therapist sometimes at reconciling or like figuring out like where there's conflict and how to deal with it. And this is one area where I find I don't know the answer to the conflict. Like we disagree on a lot of decorative situations.
That's so many.
And I'm not really willing to compromise, but we haven't got
That's so shocking, Mark. That's so shocking.
Well, but I'm willing to compromise when it comes to the restaurant we're going to go to
but not
or other
design.
situations. But like certain things, you know, and I feel like it's a little bit for me like doing a collection where it's torturous, but I need to believe in every single bit of the choices and all that stuff. So we have disagreements about that, and they're very hard to reconcile. And I feel great disappointment when Charlie doesn't like one of the choices that I would make. And then I don't know how to live with my choice because I'm like, oh shit, now I can't live with this knowing he doesn't like it, you know.
But I've always said I'll probably, I trust him so much in terms of style and taste. And I know he's got impeccable taste. And just because I don't like it now doesn't mean I won't grow to appreciate it and like it, you know.
It doesn't sound like that sometimes.
Which happens with a lot of things, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes that doesn't.
But the house has become a show. I should show you guys our living room is just like the most insane amount of like mood boards, fabrics, you name it. It's
the
just
whole living room.
But I hope you're documenting that, Char. Are you documenting all that? Because you should. Because you can look back on that and it's like.
Somebody from HBO asked me if we wanted to do something.
Mark.
No, it's just the way I like work on anything. It'd be like going to work. You put up colors and swatches and rooms that have inspired you.
Sure, of course.
So we have this house laid out like each board represents the bar,
the room,
the foyer, the dining room, the kitchen, the chef's kitchen, the maid's room.
I love it.
I literally I bet those mood boards literally are like works of art. I'll send you videos after this. Please save all that. I'm obsessed. I'm telling you, you're gonna want to have it after. You actually will watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
No, we won't. We just want to get in there. Anyway, I don't know how we got off on that, but
it's fine.
I don't follow any questions. So, okay, so your favorite place to go in the world?
Oh, what's our favorite place?
What's our favorite place? I don't know. I think anywhere we go, we have so much fun.
I'm on Zoe.
Oh yeah, I'm on Zoe Dutt in Greece. That is definitely our favorite.
Not the Rachel Zoe.
That's where I want to go.
Rachel Zoe. I'm on Zoe.
Yeah. You just went there, and you're obsessed with it.
Yeah, we've got.
I feel like you literally just went.
Yeah, we did.
Right?
Yeah, we were there just a couple of weeks ago.
I'm dying
to go there. Is it amazing?
I want to go there.
It's the most incredible place on earth. We've been 4 times.
Yeah.
It's three.
That's where I want to go. I mean, it's named after me. I probably should go, right?
Well, it's like. I think the last time we were in St. Bart, we were really disenchanted. Like we really,
yeah, I remember that.
And there's like
we liked it, but it had changed so much.
That's what I've heard.
All the people that used to go were not there, and it just sort of felt like we were staying home, and then we would go out to the same restaurant for lunch, the same restaurant for dinner, which was fine. But it was like slowly each of those restaurants had less and less of the energy that they used to have.
And then the huge dengue epidemic, like his assistant
yes,
went.
That's what you texted me, Char.
His assistant went got dengue and thought he was going to die.
So I think when we realized, like, okay, so what we were really enjoying was a place where we could be alone,
right?
Like with each other.
Sure.
Then we discovered the Amanzoe, where we had this huge villa. They upgraded us to this crazy huge villa.
Oh my God!
And the service was amazing. The food was amazing. The weather was perfect every day. And if you're going to stay home and not go out, like if there's no life outside of your little area, then your little area needs to be
100%. I agree.
And it was. So we started like going there like repeatedly.
Oh,
amazing.
Yeah, it's such a special place. But we have fun everywhere we go.
Cuties.
Even places that aren't
I want to
so
hug
much
you
fun.
guys through the screen so bad. I do. I really do. Okay,
So aside from the renovation, are there any other points of conflict?
what are the things you fight about most?
It's just basically the house is really the only.
It's creative
Well,
things,
but
maybe.
there is.
Oh, yes. Thank
Most
God.
honest
Thank God
person
this
I know.
podcast is going to get
I
some
wouldn't say
action.
I wouldn't say it's a fight. It's kind of there. If I come home in a bad mood, certain things bother me that I've come to accept on days that I'm in a good mood. Charlie, I am meticulous. All my clothes are folded. All of my clothes are stacked. All of my shoes are in the closet, facing the same direction, equal distant from each other. It's like military precision. That is not the case in like Charlie's area. Wherever Charlie is, looks like the room has exploded. I mean, everybody teases him. Everybody laughs. Like when we go away, his stuff is all over the house, by the pool, hanging like all over. It just looks like a bomb went off, and like Charlie's shit flew everywhere.
Maybe there was a little
foreshadowing
when he came down and met you in St. Bart's with the folded,
Unfolded.
but no,
that was nothing.
Dang.
So that was him on his best behavior, meeting you for the first time.
So every time we go somewhere, it's like a bomb went off and all of Charlie's shit flew everywhere. And that's kind of like how it is at home. I mean, there are moments where he will pretend to straighten things out, which basically means hide them.
This is literally amazing.
So we don't really fight. Like I don't fight over it, but when
it's like bicker. It's like it's nothing.
No. I don't even. I mean, I basically
ignore it.
Use it as an anecdote, and I there's a lot of sarcasm in my voice. This hidden anger about it, but I live with it.
We are who we are, and we accept each other for who we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
You kind of have to at some point. You really have to at some point. There's things about him that make me mental, and I have to just like. I mean, he spent Halloween weekend going to Grateful Dead shows. Like, what am I going to do?
You're a deadhead? I had no idea.
Sure.
Obviously.
I mean, this is show number 150. God only knows. Yeah. Yeah. So, these are the things. But I think what I want to really understand from you guys is if you had to break it down, what is your secret sauce? What's your magic? Why do you work?
Therapy. Oh,
really?
Why do we work?
No, why do you work? Like, meaning, like, I've known Marc forever. I mean, Char, listen, I think you're magical. Like, I'd marry you. But like, but Marc's a tough nut to crack, I mean, he is.
Totally.
And he fell hard for you. And I think you guys have this, the wedding was so magical. Your vows were so magical. Everything about it was magical. And I think the most important thing that our listeners take away from each episode is like, what makes it work for you? If you had to break it down, like, what's the thing? What's the magic? What's the secret sauce?
I think just being able to accept each other, and our flaws, like I think is huge. And, I know you guys talk about therapy. I've listened to a few of your podcasts and, you talk heavily about therapy and how important it is. And, I really think it is like having somebody to translate, almost for you is
unbiased.
Make a break. Yeah, exactly. And like, so when conflict does happen, it, you're able to deal with it. And you've said before in your podcast how it's important to, I mean, you wouldn't want to be with somebody just like you,
No, never.
Drive yourself crazy.
Yes.
And so, we are very different in some senses, but we have so much love for each other. And I think, I don't know, we just
clearly you're alike at the core. I mean, that's the thing. Like
I think so too. Yeah.
Like Raj and I always say, we approach things differently. Our reaction to things are so different to different things.
Totally.
But at the core, we really have the exact same like moral compass. We believe in raising our kids a certain way. We don't fight about the things that really matter, but ultimately for us, it's that we root for each other. And I think you guys, what I can see is that you really both want each other to win and succeed, and you're not competing with one another. Because I think
no, not at all.
I think the demise of a lot of couples is that, especially here in Hollywood, in this industry, they're just not rooting for each other.
And I see it especially with gay couples too. Like there's something about a man with a man, like they tend to compete a lot.
Yes.
We definitely don't do that. I really think that, where I think he's like the yin to my yang, and I hope vice versa. And, we are very different, but it is complementing, and we do want the best for each other, which is good. Would you agree?
Mark, what do you think?
Yes,
secret sauce is? Yes, dear. What do you think, Mark?
No, well, that's, I had a lawyer, a very old man lawyer who was really wise and lived a very long time and was married to his wife for like 87 years or something, like till the day she died.
Yeah.
And he outlived her. And so we said, what was the secret to your marriage? And he just said, yes, dear.
Yes. Happy wife, happy life.
So true.
Exactly.
Sure.
So, yes, dear.
All right, Rach, I think we should move on with this show.
All right.
Get to our favorite.
Last three questions. Really quick.
Our favorite game show portion.
It's a little newlywed-ish.
All right, so the object.
Really quick.
Because in the game, newlywed?
Like a little bit like Char answers for you.
Like, what would you go to jail for?
Exactly.
Whoa, that's our first question. You must have listened to this podcast.
What would Mark get arrested for, Char?
It's funny because I knew that question. I had a feeling that question was coming, but I hadn't really thought about it.
It's my favorite.
Mark would probably go to jail for, oh my God. I don't know.
Such a good boy.
I think smoking somewhere he should.
He doesn't smoke anymore.
I know.
Probably
setting off the fire alarm at the airport.
Oh yeah. Probably something where it involved him not being aware of his surroundings, and we were at an airport in East Hampton, and he blew a huge vape cloud right under a smoke alarm, and set the whole airport alarm system off,
fire trucks.
Yeah,
it really happened. That really happened?
Yeah, of course that would happen. 100%.
No, it really happened.
No, I know that's really
amazing.
happened. Okay, what would Char get arrested for, Mark?
Almost the same thing. So we had a similar story. So we had just spent, we were preparing our Halloween costumes for when we were the two older versions of ourselves, a few years ago. And Charlie had bought all this shit. Again, he's got an Amazon addiction.
So do I.
And, so does Rachel.
So do I.
So he's got a serious Amazon
addiction.
Me
too. It's a problem.
So, okay.
Everything she thinks about, she wants it to manifest in a box in front of her within 4 hours.
And it does.
It's the craziest thing. She's like, oh my God.
So Char bought some fog machine or something, and we had come home from
I want to do
attach
it to your wheelchair.
Wait a second. So 7 hours of prosthetics. Then we go out to a party for 1 hour, then 3 hours to remove the prosthetics from him. Then he goes down to the basement, decides to start screwing around at 2 a.m. with this fog machine. All the alarms go off. Police arrive at our house. Fire trucks arrive at our house. And this is not the only time that's happened. So he, at the new house, at the house we're building or restoring, he also set off the fire. Let me set the mood.
So it was after a show. He'd stressed out. He hadn't slept in a few days. So we go to the new house. I'm like, oh, it's perfect. We have a new fireplace, a huge fireplace in a room. I'm going to light a fire. It'll be romantic. He'll be able to relax and just chill. And it'll be a nice way to unwind. I didn't know they had to clean the
flue.
The chimney. They hadn't cleaned the flume or whatever. And so I lit this fire so we could chill and unwind. All of a sudden, the whole house starts filling up with smoke. The alarms, it was intense.
All over my nursing island.
And it was 3 in the morning. Yeah. and all these fire trucks just showed up, and it was anything but relaxing and romantic and, chill.
That's
so
amazing.
I think we would both go to jail for setting off an alarm.
Alarms. I think
something fire related, smoke related.
Fire related. Pyrotechnics.
All right. So this next question is also
very
well. I'm going to go to this one because it's just very of au courant, as they would say, because they are redoing the house.
Oh yeah, this is actually a great one.
What piece of furniture would we be?
Yes!
Oh my God, Char, you're crazy.
Char, nobody listens to this podcast. Like,
listen.
What is going on? Are you the only person?
We have a lot of listeners.
You need some new questions.
What would you be, Mark? What would Mark be, Char?
Okay.
What piece of furniture would Mark be? He'd probably be Jean-Michel Franck mica table.
Yes.
Okay. And I know what Charlie would be.
Which is?
A giant beanbag chair.
I knew you were going to say that. I thought you were going to say like a lazy boy or a beanbag chair. Yeah.
We got this rental. We're in a rental house now, and I was like, I'm buying a love sack. Those huge beanbags that can fit like 4.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, he's like, it is not coming to the new house. I'm like, I don't care. We'll have it for the rental, and it's awesome. And the dogs love it.
By the way, Char, my kids want one of those. My 7-year-old.
They're the most amazing thing ever, but they take up a lot of room.
Gigantic.
Oh my
I love you guys so much. Okay.
So Mark is now going to be cast on screen. His biography. Who's playing him?
Good question.
I know.
Yeah, that is a good one. Mark's like, I know who I want to play me.
Yeah.
Mark, your hair looks great, Mark. You look really sexy.
I like your hair like this, by the way.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's so
I really
good.
like it. I really
Thank
like
you.
it. I like the way also the beard
You look
comes
so
around.
handsome.
I like the whole thing. It's good. It works.
Yeah.
I'm loving this look.
Works for real.
Who did somebody thought you were? Somebody.
Oh no, but he's super old now.
Who was he?
Ringo Starr.
Oh yeah, Ringo Starr. Somebody.
Ringo Starr. You'll play Ringo Starr, not the other way around. What's going on here?
They mistook me for Ringo Starr when we were sitting in the
Like, I take a picture of you. You look just like Ringo Starr.
I'm dead.
I want
That's amazing.
Chalamet to play me.
Of course you do. Of course you do. Of course you do. Okay, who's playing Char?
I'm going to say this just to annoy him. Channing Tatum.
Yes.
Just to annoy him because everybody always mistakes him for him. Or used to.
Used to, yeah. Not so much anymore, but they used to all the time.
Well, you're both gorgeous. Just saying.
That's amazing.
All right, well, I love you guys. So I could literally talk to you guys for 6 more hours, but can you just come to LA already?
Yeah,
Yes,
welcome.
please.
Okay, so please, Char, you're the best at communication.
Yes.
So just text me.
Don't mess
We're
around.
going to
Okay.
host a beautiful dinner for you at our house.
Please. We'll invite
Yes.
some people. We'll invite some people.
I can't wait to meet your kids. Your kids
Oh my
are.
God. They will be obsessed with
no
you.
idea. If you
They'll be obsessed
pay
with you.
I
attention
just feel like you
to
guys
them,
are in. You guys are in trouble, and give it a few more years. You guys are in some major trouble.
Except
They're like,
Skylar's an Aries, which means Mark's going to have to. I have some Aries practice here.
yeah,
Aries are very special breed.
we're
Char.
both Aries. I'm an Aries.
You're an
too.
Aries also.
double Aries.
Holy shit.
Our birthday's like 3
3
days apart.
Yeah.
Oh my
Wow. I don't think
goodness.
we've gotten that yet on the show.
We did the wedding because that was the other thing.
That's why you did the
Char is
wedding
the
then.
king of the surprise birthday. Like we won't even go there because it's another hour of conversation. But he loves to outdo each year. He would outdo himself with like a surprise
Aw.
situation for birthday or for Christmas.
Aw.
And so when we figured out the wedding date, we were like, you know what? Instead of having like your birthday celebration, my birthday
Yeah.
celebration,
Right.
let's make it the wedding celebration
Yeah.
right in the middle.
Yeah.
And so
You just
That's
celebrate
perfect.
us that week.
so
Oh
that
my
way, from the
God.
3rd through the 9th, we could just like stay up and party.
Awesome.
But
Wow.
we don't really do that.
Yeah, like stay up and party.
No, now we're sleeping. By
Right now it's like
10
oh my
o'clock.
God, the news is amazing
What?
tonight. Going to sleep.
Well, we love you
Yeah.
guys so much. You both
thank
look
you so
much
gorgeous.
for having us.
Oh my God, this
Thanks
was
for being
so
here.
fun. I love
Thank
you
you.
guys. Get through the house. We're excited to see it. So, but
All
we'll
right.
see you here first. So I love you
Yes.
guys.
Love you guys.
Yes.
Bye.
Love you.
That was really one of my absolute favorites. I mean,
Well, it's just good to get to speak to them for a while. I
they're
haven't
just
spoke
the
to
cutest.
Mark
and
in
like,
so long.
I feel like Char is like this, like kind of ray of sunshine and light that came into Mark's life. And I think he was like craving that. And can you imagine doing a house with Mark?
No.
But you know what I would do? This is where Char's missing.
Yeah, I think Char should just
surrender.
Surrender. I don't even know what
agree.
he's doing. I kind of wanted to say that, but I didn't want to take sides.
Right.
But
Same.
I'm just like, Char, like, you're going to say, like,
it's not that
pattern
it's just,
isn't the right pattern?
It's not even that. I think that Marc
wants to be inclusive.
Marc has to yield on things for Char, and he does in the Chipotle and things like that. But I also think creatively, just because you're with a creative person, it's like you don't trust me for everything. You don't let me make every creative. There's certain things you don't want to deal with, and you'll be like, you pick, you decide, da-da-da-da. It
seems like Char is possibly more practical in some things. My gut tells me that, like, he's like, Marc, why we can't get that couch? Like, no one's gonna be able to sit on it. And he's like, but it looks stunning. Or like something like that. Like, that's my guess. Because you're a little like that. I'm like, Rach, it won't even fit.
Right.
You're like, no, it will. Well, I'm like,
I would say
Rachel,
Marc and I are not pragmatic.
I'm like, Rachel,
thinkers. Yes.
I will take the ruler out and show you, and then you will believe me.
Right. But I think Marc he's just genius on another level. So for me, I would just punt it and be like, for me, I'd actually be happy for him to just do it and like move on. But listen, I do get it. And I also think like Char has great taste too. So he's probably like, hey, I want a little of this and put a little... I think Char is you in this relationship.
Yeah, it would appear that way.
Let's just put
but
it
what
that
I
way.
think is really cool about it is, it started with the baking of the cookies, judging from the fact that they were deciding which ring Char had or where the other one was. So my guess is they probably spoiled each other materialistically.
Yeah, of course.
But it would appear that spoiling each other, like, with their time, and like thinking about, like, it's not an easy thing to do a flash mob, right?
No.
It's not an easy thing to plan a surprise party every year and try and outdo yourself. So it would appear that, they're in a great place. They're just really trying to show each other their appreciation for each other. So I couldn't be happier.
It's nice to see Marc so married and happy, and he looks so handsome.
It's like their suburban housewives.
I know. I really love it.
I love it.
But also, I forgot to mention, because I was so focused on them as a couple, for our listeners, the very first fashion show I went to and was not invited to and crashed was Marc's show a very, very long time ago during the grunge period in the 90s. And I didn't get kicked out, which was good news. But it was one of the most exciting moments of my life, and one of the moments that I realized that he was one of the most true creative geniuses of our time. And his mind, once you actually witness it, is really like nothing else I've seen. It's just next level. Because I think there's creative, talented people, and then there's like the actual creative genius, which Marc actually is. And he's also incredibly brilliant.
And well-read.
And that's what I mean. He's just very well-spoken.
So much about art. And
yes. And he's also very silly, which is funny about like pop culture and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm so happy. I love this episode. I love Char. I love Marc. And I have to tell you, like, I actually learned from that. And I think every couple, every relationship we interview, I keep taking things away from, which I think is great. Okay. So if you liked what you heard so far, please make sure you're subscribed on Apple Podcasts and give us a rating and a great review. And of course, keep listening. Check us out on our Instagram at works.for.us. And don't forget to tell us your story. There's a Works for Us phone line that you can call and leave us a message with your very own relationship stories. And we're planning to share our favorites on the podcast. You can also ask us for relationship advice, although we can't stress enough, we are not actual experts, but we'll still take your questions. So if you want to share your story or ask us a question, give us a call at 657-549-2251. That's 657-549-2251. You can also find all of our contact info on our Instagram at works.for.us. Okay. Before we leave you, we're going to give this week's highlight and lowlight. My high is that we had a really fun Halloween with our kids. And honestly, for as exhausting as Halloween is for parents, after not having it last year and realizing how deeply important it is for kids to have Halloween, they just live for it. It's like their favorite day of the year.
I also heard someone say yesterday, which was interesting, is like, it's truly a great American holiday.
It is.
And it's like, I think it's the only place in the world.
Our friends in London were like, it's not even a holiday.
Yeah. So I think it's just something that really It's not about religion. It's just about
pure.
It's just about being silly and being pure, and like, adults get dressed up with their kids. It's just a very, very like family friendly holiday. So
I will say, before we had kids, Raj and I stayed home on Halloween almost always, unless there was like a close friend having a party, because I have a thing with masks. I don't like not seeing people's faces. But I would say that it really reminded me last night, kind of really just how important it is for kids to do that holiday and how fun it is for them, and like trading candy. I mean, it was just, they were so happy. And Kai lost a tooth. Caius lost his very first tooth very late. And it was a huge day. He said it might have been the best day of his life.
I think he said it was the best day of his life. He lost his tooth on Halloween, and he had the best Halloween. It was like, they kept telling us how much fun they had.
Yep. And he sang in front of a whole group of kids.
The karaoke. I swear to God.
He grabbed the mic
adults.
and sang A Million Dreams in front of a whole room of people that he didn't know. So there you go.
That's our son. What about a low light? Any low lights?
A low light is, it's a month-long holiday. I'm so tired, and I'm not complaining, but I'm happy that there's a year between Halloweens. I don't really have a big low this week, honestly.
Yeah, I'm not really that low this week either, which I think is good. My highlight for sure, though, was the fact that I got to see Dead & Co., the Hollywood Bowl. Twice. My low light is that I didn't see it the third night, Halloween night, but it was a highlight being able to spend the night with my beautiful children trick-or-treating. And
your wife.
And my wife. I forgot about her. But anyway, for those of you who don't know, I'm a huge deadhead. And I will say that this weekend, I have not seen shows like this in at least a decade. Sadly, I just figured out I've been going to shows for over 30 years.
God, you're old.
I am old. It's so crazy. But anyone out there,
John
Mayer and Jeff Comedy, and I mean, all these guys are just so good. So anyway, that's my highlight. I'm still smiling. And I did my personal record for number of steps in a day.
26,000 steps in a day.
26,000 steps on Saturday night. That's how much I danced. So that's my highlight, love.
And he's here to talk about it. He's, just so you know, he's also Theragunning as we're recording.
Yeah, I just put some CBD balm on me because I'm in so much pain. And you know what my other highlight is?
What?
I love my wife.
Aww.
That's it, kids.
Babe. Thanks, babe. And
Have a great week.
And that's why it
works
for us.
This is Dr. Laurie Santos from the Happiness Lab. Many people have questions about how to improve levels of happiness. Living a healthy lifestyle is one sure way of increasing happiness. And a good place to start is with your oral health. Just a few small changes to your oral care routine, such as changing your toothpaste to Colgate Total, can lead to beneficial changes in your oral health. Colgate Total helps stop oral health problems like gingivitis and cavities before they start, because preventing oral health problems is a lot easier than treating them. Be dentist ready and get Colgate Total at shop.colgate.com/total.
When it comes to travel bags and backpacks, colorful and unique options are hard to come by. Luckily, Baboon to the Moon has you covered. Baboon to the Moon's bags are made for going places near and far, and for making you the brightest star at baggage claim. Made with super durable materials and a limited lifetime warranty, your Baboon to the Moon bag will join you for all of life's missed trains, unexpected rain showers, love at first sights, and compliments. Check them out at baboontothemoon.com. Now get lost and make the world more colorful.
Make this new school year an opportunity for your kids to learn important life skills with Greenlight. Greenlight is a debit card and money app for families where kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely, while parents keep an eye on kids' money habits. Greenlight also helps families get into their fall routine with a chores feature that lets parents assign chores and pay kids allowance when they check them off. Get your first month free at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.